Well, let's speak now to Dr. Max Abrahms, a specialist in terrorism, professor also at Northeastern University in Boston. Professor, thanks very much for your time. Do you think there is a real chance of getting any of these girls back to their families?
I do think so. In fact, the video that was released today is extraordinarily encouraging when you think about it. In the past few weeks, we've been told that these girls, these 276 schoolgirls, have been divided up into small groups and taken out of the country and married off for $12 each. And on top of that, it seemed like the leader of Boko Haram might not be sort of a rational political actor interested in negotiating with the government. And here we see, 130 plus of these women sitting there. I'm sure they're psychologically, harmed, but they looked physically okay. We don't know what happened to the rest of them, but at least a sizable number of them are alive. And on top of that, the leader is talking about possibly trading them to the government in exchange for the release of militants in the government's custody. And so I took the news today of the video as a very positive sign.
Although the government has rejected the idea of that exchange, do you think they are, in fact, negotiating secretly?
Well, the official statement of pretty much every target country is that, we do not negotiate with terrorists. But in fact, the historical record belies that. Many governments, of course, have traded with terrorists. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Nigerian government quietly is trying to broker some kind of a negotiation, or at least hoping for one.
Is there a sense in which the social media and international campaign is perhaps making it worse? And it's clear from John's report there are a lot of people in northeastern Nigeria who feel utterly ignored by the government in Abuja and excluded by the campaign concentrated on helping the girls.
I don't think that the social media is making things worse per se, but I do think that it's fueling a false sense of optimism. And so, the social media contributed to these, foreign delegations of Americans, the Brits, the Israelis are coming over to provide some kind of hands-on assistance. And there might be this perception that there's this huge international campaign now that's been galvanized by the social media, which will help to back the gains of Boko Haram. But in fact, the nature of international involvement is still very small. And so I hope that the Nigerian people understand that there are real limits to what the international community is actually offering with respect to making them safer against Boko Haram.
Professor Abrahms, thanks very much for that.
Anytime.
More